Welcome to a return to Oneness. My name is Eddie, and I help people open their hearts. Today's discussion is from the book Reflections, The Healing Power of Love. Chapter 30, The Two Kingdoms. Today's quote comes from the book The Return to Oneness, A Course. While it may seem that not God is as all-encompassing as God is, not God is not eternal, infinite, or without limitations. For the kingdom of not God is a kingdom rife with war and conflict, plagued by scarcity and lack, and beleaguered by suffering, misery, loss, and death. This is the kingdom you created and fight daily to save. But why do you fight so hard to save that which is the antithesis of heaven? The answer lies in your belief of who and what you are. Volume 1, Chapter 8, Paragraph 19. There are two kingdoms, and they lie side by side within your mind. One kingdom is nothing but a desolate, dark wasteland where suffering, misery, and pain are constant companions. Want, need, and lack are seen everywhere. Yet the other kingdom is filled with love and joy. Everything is plentiful, for there is absolute abundance within it, and peace flows through it like a lazy river. The choice as to which you experience is directly attributable to the beliefs you have regarding yourself, others, society, and the world at large. It is a choice you make moment to moment, for you either choose heaven or hell. Yet, more specifically, you choose between the truth of yourself or the self you have made. But only one of these is real. The other is nothing but a wish, a fantasy, to be something other than what you are in truth. One kingdom you alone rule, for it is the kingdom of the separated self, and it is a kingdom bereft of love, for fear is found at the heart of this kingdom. As its ruler, you are constantly on guard and remain vigilant for the next attack, knowing with absolute certainty that it will come. From where it will come, you know not, but you know that it will. Therefore, you seek for allies, but you trust no one, because you believe that attack can come from even those with whom you love. Thus everyone is a potential enemy, waiting to rob from you everything you hold dear. At best, this paltry kingdom offers rewards if you make the appropriate sacrifices. Yet, no matter how hard you try to defend yourself, you cannot prevent the ravages on your body wrought by time. And if you are blessed to live to a ripe old age, you know that your body will deteriorate before your eyes, becoming weak and frail until it ultimately withers away and dies, thus returning to the dust from which it came. However, there is another kingdom in which you rule alongside God. It is a kingdom that knows not of conflict or war, for peace is the governing order. As such, there are no enemies, because everyone lives in unity. Equality and full equanimity are shared by all, for no one is considered unworthy of love. And rather than seeing yourself as a separate self, you recognize and know that you are one with everyone and everything. You know with absolute certainty that you are an extension of love. You deny no one the love for which they deserve. How could you? You can't. For being love itself, you see yourself, your love, in all you look upon, and everything you see is bathed in light, for darkness is unknown. In this kingdom there is no death. There is only eternal life. O divine child, both kingdoms are within you, but only one is real. And this is the only kingdom that is worthy of you calling it home. The other can offer you nothing but misery, suffering, and conflict. This dark kingdom will never be your home. How could it be? For it is a kingdom founded upon guilt, shame, and fear. Yet the good news is, nothing found within the kingdom of darkness is real. Absolutely nothing. Let then this day be the one in which you choose the only kingdom worthy of a child of God. This kingdom is your inheritance. It is your birthright. Do not deny it any longer for the one you have made. God did not will that you be apart from heaven, and because He willed it, you cannot be separate from it. Yes, you can believe you live in hell. You have that absolute right. But you cannot negate nor usurp God's will. Herein lies your complete freedom. Why then would you choose hell when you can reclaim the kingdom of heaven by simply choosing to be your true self? This is the question you must ask. Yes, that is the question. The question that you must ask is, will you choose to be your true self? Remember, there are two selves. One you made. The other God created. The self you made is the self of ego, the self of not God. This little self opposes everything that God created. And the ego self does not know what love is. It cannot know. It cannot be taught, because it was founded as an attack against your very self, your true self, the self created in the image and likeness of the Creator, of the source of all that is. It is your choice, always, as to which one you choose to be. But always remember this: whichever you choose either the ego or your true self will determine whether you experience hell or heaven. For the ego only knows hell. But God, your true self, only knows heaven. And heaven calls you home every moment of every day. You need but listen. Listen for its call and answer it. You have a host of helpers to give you guidance and direction to bring you home safely. In truth, you have not really wandered off. Only your mind sleeps, and it is your mind that believes that it is separate and has made a journey far from home, becoming lost in a wilderness. And your mind believes that you are alone in a world of other beings who seem separate and alone, apart from one another and everything. It's just a dream. It is a lie. All you need do is awaken from that dream, and you will know that you are home. And the call to come home is really the call to awaken, the call to return to eternal life, the call to return to your true self, the self which is an extension of perfect love, of perfect peace, of infinite joy. You do not have to settle for hell, not ever. For within you is the truth that will set you free. But this freedom is predicated on knowing who and what you are. For you must come to know what you are. You cannot escape the dream until you know yourself. You must come to know and believe and trust in your true self once again. Your true self has gone nowhere. It remains within your heart. In truth, there really is no journey to make to return home, because you've never left it. The only journey to speak of is the one that you will make from your mind to your heart. Yes, at times, it will seem like one of the hardest journeys that you have ever been on, but it truly is a journey without distance. Allow your heart to guide you home. For what you're really doing is allowing your heart to call the mind back into itself. The heart is calling you to peace, to be at peace. But in order to have the peace, the joy and the love which are your birthrights, your inheritance. You must turn from the self that you made. Do not defend that little self any longer, for it can offer you absolutely nothing but misery, heartache, and suffering. Instead, let this day be the day that you choose your true self. You choose the self God created in His perfect image and likeness. Choose your true self, the self that is all-powerful, that is all-knowing, and that is free. Your freedom, then, lies in the self you choose to be. So be the only self that you can be in truth, the self that God created. Thank you for listening. Peace, love, and joy to all.